Yo. Raymond in the house, Peyton in the house, J Money, and Colton Krieg alive and well. Yeah. Raymond said my legs are toast. We did legs this morning, our second leg day of the week. We are doing legs twice a week now. Lee in the house. What up? What up? What up? What up? Mm-mm-mm. Good morning. Amy in the house. On my way to do legs now. Yeah, we just did legs. It was brutal. My brain is fried. My brain is not working. Oh, what else? So the cheater Mike won. The Arnold UK. He won. He won. He deserved to win. He looked good, but he still sucks. He still sucks. Oh, leg day is the best day. That's fucking wrong. It's 100% wrong. Legs for me too. Prepping high day meals. Perfect. Cannabis and carbs today. Yes. Yeah, I saw a little bit of the Bikini Amy. I didn't watch it close enough. Um Mike still sucks, she says, and Martin looked awful, but kept his composure at least. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping he can get his shit back together because otherwise I don't know if he's ever going to win a show again. I just don't know. No high day for me, says John. Yeah, I don't really get him right now either, John. I do a little bit, but not too much. Not too much. We have some questions. I'm going to wait until people roll in a little bit. Martin looked very overcarbed. Yeah. Yeah, he was really big, but a little too big. John says, who wants to bet on Martin dropping Boss? I don't know. I could see it. I see why you're saying that. But I could also see him not doing it because no one else wants to work with him. No one else wants to work with him. Who the fuck wants to coach him? I mean, maybe. I don't know. I just don't. I'm not sure that a lot of people want to put their name behind him right now. That's just my opinion. I don't think a lot of people want to be associated with his name. Raymond said Brett would coach him. Yeah, that's not a good idea. That's not that's not a fucking good idea. I love Brett. Don't get me wrong. I talk a lot of shit about him for no reason at all. I think he's fucking awesome, but I don't even know why I talk shit about him. He just happens to come up at bad times. Amy says, I think Martin and Alexa both need to drop Boss. Yeah, everyone needs to drop that asshole. Literally everyone. He blew up like on the scene. It just like there's always like a coach at the time, right? Where everyone's like drooling over. And because they bring in a few good guys or a lot of good guys, but they have a good string of events and everyone salivates and fucking runs to them, you know, and then they end up just sucking anyways. So, in sucking in the context of they are the best in the world. So when I say sucking, it's like you guys know what I mean. I'm a bad bodybuilder. They are very good bodybuilders, but I can still talk shit. I can still talk shit because I'm very good at that. DLC in the house. What up? What up? What up? What up? Oh yeah. So we did leg training today. It was more of like a pump day, I guess. It fucking sucked either way. I fucking hate training legs. Anyone that says they like training legs, I don't believe you. I don't trust you. You're probably a serial killer. You're probably a serial killer. And you wouldn't like training legs with me and Raymond. You probably wouldn't like it. You might for a little, and then you won't. And then you won't because it sucks. Oh God, that's awful. Crystal said David and I are in the same room watching in stereo. Oh, I'm sorry. I am sorry. Raymond says the only people I've heard say they like training legs are women, and women lie and they scare me. They don't like legs either. Shut the fuck up, Lee. Legs and cardio are the best, he says. Shut up, bro. Shut up. John says stimulate, don't annihilate. You can stimulate my ass, John. How about that? Stimulate, don't annihilate. There's truth to that, but it's still dumb. But it's still dumb. J Money, I like legs because pain is fun, but it's not exactly enjoyable. Yeah, it's fun. It's fun. But you don't like it. I dread training my legs. I dread it. I dread it. I get anxiety. I get angry. I hate everything. And now we have to do that 2 times a week. Now we have to do that 2 times a week. So there's only like one day out of the week that I don't hate my life. And that's Sunday. When I don't train anything. Oh, whatever. But don't you love training? No, I don't. I do it because I got nothing else to do. Ray says the Wednesday session is the worst. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's terrible. Amy says glute day every day. For your division, I mean, we do a lot we do a lot of glutes in Amy's training program. Um John, what's your least and favorite muscle to feel a pump in? Um My favorite muscle to feel a pump in, um, Colton says low back has to be the worst. Yeah, I'm not even counting that. I'm not counting that. Um, yeah, low backs don't count, guys. Neither do jaws. You're masticators. Yeah, neither do those. What's my least favorite body part to have pumped? My quads. My quads because I can't bend my fucking knees when my quads are pumped. I like the sensation of like a good quad pump, but I can't function. My knees don't bend anymore once my quads are properly pumped. I literally can't bend my knees. Um, my favorite, dude, fucking arms, bro. Duh. Fucking duh, bro. I'm a meathead stupid fuck. Arms are the best, dude. Arms are the best. Then everyone around you knows that you have a pump. Everyone around you knows, bro. Yeah, fucking arms, dude. Legs are stupid. You just look like an idiot when your legs are pumped. There's no definition in them anymore. Do you just fucking your knees don't bend? You're walking around with ball peg legged and shit. You look like a fucking penguin. Yeah, you guys said low back is the worst. Of course, low back is the worst. Calf pumps, I actually like calf pumps because I feel like glued to the ground. I feel real grounded with a calf pump. So I like calf pumps. Mid trap pump, you guys are getting specific. Yeah, mid trap pump is uncomfortable for sure. Um, yeah, David said arms and shoulders. Of course, it's arms and shoulders. Chest is fine. I like a good chest pump, but fucking arms and shoulders, yeah, yeah. Raymond said no one is saying chest. Chest is top tier. No, I agree that chest is good, but arms are better, dude. Arms are better. John said, I hate the burn it takes to pump the quads, but I like the pump. Yeah, quads are just fucking miserable. Everything about them. We did occluded leg extensions today, like blood flow restriction. Um, and like I just wanted to cry the whole time. It's not fun. You fucks. Oh, it's so fun. I love pain. Shut up. Shut up. Um John said I love a chest pump. Yeah, chest pumps are great. Yeah, chest, shoulders, arms are all on the same playing field for me. I love training back, but I don't really care if my back is pumped, you know? If your back is thick enough, it doesn't matter if it has a pump in it or not. But when you got a fucking arm pump, some Increlex in there and shit, you know? Uh-huh. Yeah. I love the quad pump, but it smooths out the definition. Yeah, there's no more lines when your quads are pumped. They're just fucking sausage links. Amy said her favorite are her shoulders, her least favorite are her calves. Yeah. The only reason I like the calves, I just feel really grounded. Um, I just feel really connected with the ground. So like, um, I don't know. I don't know if the rest of my leg training is really good if my calves have a little pump in them. Shoulders and arms are a love and hate. It sucks not being able to raise my drink. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I like if my arm is properly pumped, I can't really get my shirt. I can't get my shirt off. Like I'm so uncomfortable, but I love that shit. I love that shit. Like I literally, you guys should see me try to get my fucking shirt off. After I train, I look like an idiot. I look like a fucking idiot, more so than I normally do. Um, Mario Armstrong in the house. Shoulders is sweet until it's to the point where you have to serve. Yeah, shoulders are like a different burn. Like just like a fucking they're just like a blowtorch. Like no other muscle quite burns like the shoulder. Um it's just like I mean the calves hurt pretty fucking bad when you got a proper pump in them. But like the shoulders are just like painful when you're truly getting after the shoulders. Um Almost all of us got into this for the big arm, big delt look. Chest is important, but between the two, I'd rather have massive arms. Yeah, for sure. John said no one likes a back pump. What do you mean by back? Like when we say back pump, I think of low back pump. Amy said BFR anything makes me want to cry. It is so absolutely brutal. It is so brutal. And it's underrated. I don't think it should be abused. Like I don't think it should be used all the time. But it's definitely a good tool. Um, Tommy, you know most of us can't relate to the Increlex comment. I don't know what to tell you, bro. Don't know what to tell you. Get on the Increlex train. No, I'm going back to TRT, so I'm dropping the Increlex anyways for now, but it will be back. So right now I'm just using Humalog in place of the Increlex, and Humalog is effective, very effective as well. It's not quite like that Increlex, but Humalog is still good. I still love it. How important would you say compound lifts like dumbbell and barbell bench, barbell rows, and shoulder overhead presses for a novice lifter? I think they should learn them. I think they should learn them. Yeah, I absolutely think that they should learn them, but I don't think they should do it right out of the gate, though, because the thing is, I don't know. You need to build like what I would call like a GPP, like a general physical preparation to actually be fit enough to exercise. So, like, like novice depends on how novice we're talking, but yeah, they should be doing fucking push ups and pushing a sled and just like being fit enough to actually lift weights first. Um, I would not take like, you know, complete novice and put them on a bench press. Absolutely fucking not. Absolutely not. They would be doing, fucking goblet squats with a dumbbell. They'd be pushing sleds. They'd be doing push ups, maybe some arm work, maybe like some bicep curls and, assisted chin ups. Like they'd be doing a lot of body weight stuff for at least, you know, first 6, 8 weeks, squatting to a box, even just learning depending on their background. If they played sports, and they kind of know where their body is in space, then you can be a little more progressive with them. But yeah, I'm not putting a fucking brand new novice on a bench press, or they're certainly not doing a fucking barbell row because most guys that have been training for 5 years don't even know how to properly brace for a barbell row. Um, Shoulder overhead press, same thing. They're not doing any of that shit. But I do think it's important in a progressive stage to touch some of those things. Man, I've seen guys that solely rely on machines and they can't fucking do anything with a free weight. They literally look like they're learning how to walk, and I just don't think that's right. I don't think that's right. That's like never learning how to drive a car and you buy a Tesla and it drives itself. Like you need to learn how to drive the car first. Like and I've changed my opinion on this, but I really think you need to graduate to machines. And I do think that there needs to be a time period where you're just focusing on free weights. And that doesn't mean you need to, bench 405 or anything. But if you can't bench fucking 135 and you're a 150-pound guy, like that's bad fucking news, dude. That is bad shit. Um, but yeah, I think there needs to be a time period where you do use some free weights and then don't completely recycle them or get rid of them as you progress to machines. Like I still do free weight shit. And for a while I got away from it too much, I think. I think it really has big benefits. I really do. But no, I'm not like compound or nothing. Like, yeah, you got a barbell row. Like, I'm perfectly fine with machines, but there needs to be a balance. There needs to be a balance. But if you can't properly execute a dumbbell press and like you're fucking shaking and the dumbbells are all like uncoordinated and like that's crazy to me that you even lift weights. It's crazy to me that you even call yourself a weightlifter of any kind if you cannot do a fucking proper dumbbell press. Um, I mean, Nick Walker still uses dumbbells. Like, he's a pretty good example of, you know, someone that uses kind of both free weights and machines. Miss Rachel in the background. Yeah, you got it. John said lats. I mean, like, or rhomboids. Yeah, we said we like a back pump, but an arm pump is better. My leg graduated me to machines. Yeah, yeah. Number 74 in the house. Yo. Maybe 95. What do you mean, Amy? 95%? 95 what? Did I miss something? Maybe 95. What you mean? What you mean? Who do we think's gonna win the Arnold UK Open? Probably Andrew Jack. Probably Andrew. Oh, 95-pound bench. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think that's important too. Well, yeah, Amy, I'm not going to say your weight, but that's more than your weight. So, um, I bet we could get you to 135 if we train for strength. I know we could, but that's not really our goal for you. And the risk to reward is just not really there for you. For a lot of more advanced lifters, like phasing out the barbell bench is normally a good idea. You don't have to. Like some people have really good um, levers for it, where like they're not as prone to blowing off a pec or anything. But yeah, for most people, the barbell bench press is probably okay to set aside and not chase numbers in it. I mean, I got up to my best bench was 435, with the proper pause and everything like that. But I mean, I don't really touch a straight bar bench press anymore. Don't really do that no more. All right, let's see. I got some questions. Since none of you have any, none of y'all have any. Let's see. Badoo, badoo, badoo. Okay, let's see. I had one that was good. Oh, oh, here we go. Okay, this one is from DZ. Two quick questions for your live. I'm wrapping up week 12 of contest prep. 12 out of, he is assuming 20 to 22. Fatigue's pretty high the past 2 to 3 weeks at this stage. Oh, bless you. The question is, would you typically reduce training volume and or frequency? I'm currently lifting 5 times a week, considering dropping to 4, along with 10 to 20% volume reduction to manage recovery. So that's the first question. It's pretty rare. Is that funny? It's pretty rare that I drop frequency of training. only because the way I structure my diets are training days and non-training days. So then if you drop frequency, then you change caloric intake. Um, if that makes sense. So training day calories are going to be a little bit higher. So if you're doing 5 days a week and you drop to 4, you all of a sudden actually took a calorie cut as well. Um, along with a 10 to 20% volume reduction. Um, generally my volume will reduce um, at time periods during the prep for sure. Um, it doesn't mean it's the entire prep. Like sometimes I'll take a week where it's slightly lower volume, slightly less intensity, and then or I'll just take a whole deload week. I think deload weeks are perfectly acceptable during prep, and I think people are afraid to take them. But anyone that does, they always seem to progress forward. Inflammation comes down. You give the legs a break, everything like that. The second question, it's kind of similar. When a client does hit zombie level fatigue, how do you approach it typically? Deload week. Okay, so he's on the same page here. Deload week versus taking few full rest days. My initial thought was to keep calories the same, pull cardio, significantly reduce it, um, drop load 10 to 20%, reduce volume. So he's kind of touching on the first question as well. Um, allow CNS to recover. Curious how you'd structure it. For more context, he does list his cycle and stuff as well, so I will touch on that. Um, when people start to reach that real heavy feet, um, just can't stay awake during the day. A lot of the times I'll have them pull blood work and specifically check that thyroid and just make sure. Um, if we don't do blood work, what we can do is reduce cardio because at 12 weeks out, you're still in the middle of the prep. There's still a ton of time. So, yeah, I would probably take a deload week. Deload doesn't have to always be an entire week off. Um, it can be easier workouts in the gym, set a timer of 25 minutes, get in, get out, just get it done. Or you can take an extra couple days off. I consider those the same thing. The other thing is during that deload week, I don't know if I would only follow non-training day diet. I think if I was going to do an entire deload week for a client, I would give them a custom deload uh, menu for that specific week, where it's kind of a balance of the training and non-training day calories. Just because if you deload but you're following all non-training day calories, I mean you're somewhat defeating a little bit of the purpose because now you're just on really really low calories, right? So I would do like a custom menu for that specific deload, and I would lean heavily into um, foods that are going to enhance mitochondria health as well, lower oxidative stress. Um, just take that week to really try to reduce all the inflammation, oxidative stress in the body. So then, when you are ready to push again for that last half of the prep, you're nice and sensitive to everything. Um, so, currently running, this is more context from the question. So, this person is currently running 80 micrograms of Clen, 50 micrograms of T3, 125 T4, 270 milligrams of Test, 400 milligrams of Mast, and 400 Tren. Um, calories are averaging about 2450, 2 high days, 3 medium days, and 2 low days. So for this person, the cardio is currently 45 minutes, 6 days a week, 5'10, 35 years old, 200 pounds, right in between 11 and 12% body fat. So for this person, um, what I would do, I would probably drop the clen to 60, maybe even 40. Um, I would do a deload week where I would follow the medium day, and I would do 5, 6 medium days, whatever it is. They said they train 5 days a week. So I do 5 medium days. Cardio, I would reduce probably to 25 minutes. I'd probably just cut it in half. Like, so reduce the clen, reduce the cardio, 5 medium days, maybe 6 medium days. And then before I get back into the next week, I would hit a high day just to make sure the body is nice and fueled up and ready to go. And then I would keep the cardio low, slowly make changes from there. So, like after the deload, I wouldn't just hop right back to the same clendo, same cardio. I would leave it low and see what you can get away with, and then titrate up as needed. But yeah, I would really give myself a week where um, lower the clen a bit. Um, you run those medium days, not low days. Run the medium days. Reduce the cardio. Um, and with the medium days, I don't know if that's macro based or if the foods are prescribed, but I would lean into some fruits and veggies and maybe lower the protein load a little bit to bring down some oxidative stress, lead into mitochondrial health, and really just let the body restore, refresh. I would focus on really good sleep, deep sleep, just everything you can do to freshen up that body. And then when you come back in, you're going to feel really good. Hit that high day the day before you come back in on that Monday or whatever. And then you just assess from there whether the cleaning cardio need to go back up at some point. That's totally fine, but you at least gave yourself a little break from that stuff. I mean, hell, you could even lower the trend, or you could even pull that trend out because at 12 weeks out, to be on 400 trend for another 12 weeks, man, I would take this opportunity because I don't know when that trend went in. It doesn't say. But if that's been in since 22 weeks out or 20 weeks out, I mean, you've already been on trend for 8 weeks, 10 weeks, 12 weeks. So I would take that opportunity to pull that trend out um, and get that out of there too. And then that could be reintroduced down the line, 6 weeks out, 4 weeks out, whatever it is, and at a lower dose too. 400 is kind of aggressive in my opinion, but that's totally individual and it's person dependent, tolerance dependent, everything like that. But yeah, I would take that opportunity to probably remove that trend too, especially if it's been in for a little bit, and just lower all that oxidative stress. And man, you'll feel great coming back into that. That was from DZ, also known as Del Sol. So thank you for that question. Hopefully that helps. Good luck at your show. But yeah, you got plenty of time, dude. So don't just keep fucking running yourself into the ground. You got time to pull back on all that stress, let the body relax, and then get back after it. DLC says, Amy, I think I found a Razorback shirt you guys will love. Had Crystal try it. She liked it. Oh, nice. Nice. That's super cool. Um, should be able to have TJ merch with a Razorback tank. That's dope. Hell yeah. Peyton says, how about the value of a good posing coach when preparing for a show? I had my first session with Kenny last week. He's talking about Kenny Wallach. Very impressed, already feeling more confident. Yeah, I think there's huge value in a good posing coach for sure. Don't rely on your prep coach to teach you how to pose. I love to help you guys if I can. I'll give little tips here and there, but I'm not a posing coach. I'm not even a fucking good poser myself. So I love to help where I can. I can take a novice to like okay, but I really, I really like Kenny Wallach um, and his posing. But there's so many good posing coaches out there now. It's kind of a niche thing where there's a lot of good ones. So um, I definitely recommend it for sure. I mean, if you can afford it, then and I mean, to a point, like finances should never really be the reason that you can't excel. You know, it like if you need to get blood work done and you say I can't afford it, that's not good. That's not good. You shouldn't do this if you can't afford it because all this stupid shit comes with a cost. And if you can't afford the aspects that are important, such as, you know, good coaching, quality gear, quality peptides, all the shit that costs money, if you can't afford it, wrong fucking game for you. It's the wrong game for you. I'm just being dead honest. You know, if you can't afford to get blood work done as frequently as you need to, that's not fucking good, dude. Not good. Lee said, having pain in my outer left quad. Outer left quad. Okay. Slash thigh up high. You got me all fucking confused, Lee. At this point, you're talking about your dick, dude. Having pain in my outer left quad. Okay, okay. Thigh up high on the on leg press. It's keeping me from getting full range of motion. Is this most likely the IT band? That's a wild assumption that it's the IT band. Um, I would definitely try some different foot positions and see if you can find something that is more comfortable. Is the pain just when you're doing leg press, or is it like all the time? Do you shoot your quads? You do injections there? It could just be a bad shot. Could be a tight glute. I mean, man, it could be all sorts of things. I would definitely play with foot positions, and even if the back pad is adjustable, sometimes adjusting the angle of that can help things open up. And the other thing to remember, I don't know what you're considering full range of motion, but some people are way too dramatic with the range of motion that they're trying to get. I don't know if this just paused or not. I feel like it lagged out. But what I was saying was, yeah, some people force like a range of motion that they don't have. So I think that's something to look out for, mostly on leg press. Yeah, I would play with some different foot positions. Um, and probably you're probably going to need to do some hip mobility too, just because you're an old ass man. So your hips are fucked, bro. And you sit on a forklift. So your hips are really fucked. How do I know? Because I used to drive forklift. Um, so yeah, Agile 8 or Limber 11. Look them up on YouTube. I've mentioned them a million times now. Those are good ones for hip mobility. Peyton says deload during prep is great, especially when you're pushing PEDs, performance enhancing drugs, calorie restricted and tired. Helps my sleep quality reset, which is huge. Yeah, I recommend at least one deload during a prep, during a 24 week prep, at least one, maybe even two. Maybe even two, if I'm being honest. I've done two. Fuck, I've done three. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. It's never derailed anything. It's only gotten me better. What's your opinion? Excuse me. This is from Raymond. What's your opinion on injectable orals during a contest prep versus traditional orals, Anadrol, Winstrol, Superdrol, etc.? Do you have experience with them? I've never used any injectable orals. I could see why they would be beneficial. I'm just terrified of having a bad shot. And there's like, I'm going to be honest, there's already so many other things I'm injecting um, during contest prep that I really don't want to add another injection if I don't have to. And orals don't give me any tummy aches like guys are always complaining about. Like, oh, my tummy hurts. Like, stop taking fucking drugs then, bro. Stop it. My tummy. The wind straw made my tummy hurt. Don't take it then. Shut up. But no experience with them. Um, I've never tried it. I've never tried any injectable orals during prep. So I don't know. I see the point of it. I see the point. Crunchy says, hello, Tommy and y'all. What up, Crunchy? Kenny made a few, this is from Peyton. Kenny made a few tweaks to my poses, made me look 6'8". Yeah, Kenny's crazy. Kenny is crazy, dude. He's got the eye for that for sure. Lee, if your leg press plate isn't that wide, that could be part of the reason. Because it's just internally you rotating you to a point that you don't have that. So maybe try single leg. If you have a pendulum squat available, try that instead of a leg press. He trains at home. So I don't know what he has. Oh, speaking of injectable orals, our source on the form, VAR came in. We'll have to try that soon. Yeah, we'll add that in for you and see how that goes for sure. Yeah, I mean, if you can get an injectable oral suspended in MCT oil, then fuck yeah. I mean, whatever. Send it. Send that shit. But man, like some of the shit that comes in like fucking water and like I don't know. That shit is I get concerned with some of it. I'd rather just take the oral. The right side doesn't hurt. Okay. Try single leg and see. And try that. Do that one. Let's see. I had another question. These are from the email list, guys. So if you're not signed up, please sign up on the email list, TommyJohnCoaching.com. You'll just get a pop-up. Put in your email, please. And I won't send you any dumb shit. I'm just going to send you basically when I'm going live. There will be little tips and tricks and shit like that. And then whenever we're running sales, like we currently are, Omega Amino, whenever we're running sales, you guys will know about that. So currently we're running a sale. We're going to get some free stuff plus an additional 10% off and free shipping with code Tommy, of course. So if you guys do need to re-up on your researching stuff, you can do that now through Sunday. Save some money, get some free shit. So that's fun. But yeah, that's mostly what the emails will be about. I'm not going to beg you to hire me because I really don't fucking care. Love you, but don't care. Oh, let's see. Okay, this is from Joey. Joey Small Legs. I will timestamp this for him. 44:35. I'm not gonna remember that. Fuck him. He can watch the whole thing. He'll learn so much from me. He said, "Good morning, Tommy. This may be an Amanda question." Oh, you sexist bitch. But what's your favorite seasoning for chicken and beef? I've been using Montreal steak, but I've been on it for a few months and it's getting old. Salt and pepper is fine for me, but the girlfriend complains when I cook her food with that. Um, so right now, Joey, honestly, I'm doing mega fit meals, so I'm not seasoning anything because they do that. Besides the chicken, I get no sodium chicken, but I just use salt on it, and then sometimes I'll use like a flavor gang sauce occasionally. Normally only when I'm at home because I don't carry the shit around with me. But um, historically, the ones that I've liked, um, Slap Your Mama, like a Cajun seasoning, that was always a go-to. And then there's one called Steak and Burger, and I think it's. Let me double check before I fuck this up. Um, Sorry, my computer's being slow. I think it's by Famous Dave's. Yeah. Yeah, Famous Dave's Steak and Burger. I think that's one of the best seasonings like ever fucking made. Um that one's super good. So between that and Slap Your Mama, those are what I used to use. I don't really use much I don't use any seasonings anymore. Just because all my sodium for the day, all my electrolytes are calculated and accounted for. Um, so I would have to like spend so much time like doing math and fucking blah blah blah. Just a waste of time. Waste of time. I'm not doing all that shit. All my shit, all my sodium and electrolytes are calculated out. And I don't like to fuck with them because I don't like water retention and high blood pressure and failed kidneys and heart. Next question from Joey. What's your take on assisted reps? Useful for growth or better to end the set at failure so future sets are higher quality? I'm sure the answer it depends, but it's interesting to hear your thought process. Um, so it does depend, but I would never go into a set with intentionally planning a forced rep personally, at least not nowadays. I would never like grab a spotter like, hey, I'm gonna get 8 and then could you help me get 10? I would never do that. Um, but if it naturally occurs, um, if you hit that wall and the spotter does help you a little and like as an assisted rep, I would not be like mad about it. You know what I mean? But um if my forced reps ever do occur, it's not planned. It just happened to happen, right? Happened to happen. So um it's not intentionally planned. It's not something that's premeditated. Like, hey, I'm gonna get 8, you're gonna help me get 2 more. No, I don't do that anymore. I've done it in the past, and I do think there's merit to it. It's just not a way I would train anymore. But yeah, I think assisted reps are fine. Like I said, it's just not. I would never go into the set with that intention of that, right? So that's a good question, though. Um, Here's another one from Joey. This is a good question, and I don't exactly know the answer, but I have a answer. He said, since it comes up a lot in the forum, chaseironsforum.com. Thank you. Do you like to have clients come off mitochondria peptides periodically if finances are not a limiting factor? I personally don't unless CRP is skyrocketing, but everyone seems to be asking about it. No, I mean, I really don't think you need to, but I'm not opposed to it. I'm not opposed to people taking 4 to 6 week breaks. Um, but here's the thing, like, especially if you're in like a blast phase where, the anabolic load is starting to get pretty high. The food is higher. Training stress is higher. I mean, that shit is actively lowering mitochondrial health. So if you're being preventative about it, um, you can negate a lot of that, a lot of those issues. Um, but I mean, if you're like TRT, you're just maintaining, you're doing cardio, you're staying healthy, you're sleeping really good, you're just living a perfect life with no stress, then yeah, you could definitely do without the MOTS-c and the SS31 for a little bit. But I mean, how many people just live like low stress, perfect sleep, food is just like fresh every time, training is just like maintenance, like not very hard, like all those things that we do to try to gain as much muscle as possible are damaging to the mitochondrial health. Um, so if you're living a perfectly mitochondrial fit life, um, then you may not have um, the demand for it. But none of us are doing that. None of us are doing that. Um, yeah, David says, sometimes people are already optimized. So like just slamming more MOTS-c, more SS31, like you're already fully saturated of healthy mitochondria. But it's so incredibly rare that that would happen in our space. And by what I mean by our space is people that are actively trying to gain as much muscle as possible or get as lean as possible. We're using performance enhancing supplements. Um, we're training very hard. Sometimes we're caloric restrictive, or we're eating an excess in food, which is just as stressful. Um, so most like people in our world are going to need some mitochondrial help. But what David and I are talking about is like lifestyle people, um, who are kind of like, they exercise, but they don't train, if that makes sense. They stay in good shape, they eat well, they sleep well, low stress. Those people are probably, you know, toeing that line of already being quite efficient with mitochondrial health. But bodybuilders and fitness enthusiasts, like I doubt you're ever going to be just like fully saturated with real healthy mitochondria with the shit we do. Oh, let's see. David says McCormick sweet and smoky rub. Yeah, that sounds good. That sounds good. Fast Eddie says Kinder's caramelized. I say caramelized, not caramelized, but I guess it depends what city you're from. Caramelized onion has been my go-to. Also, anything meat church. I've never heard of that. Meat church. Um, J Money said Dave's chicken rub is awesome. Tony's Creole. Yeah, that one's good. Um, yeah, famous Dave seasonings are really fucking good. Um, Tim in the house, he says Kinder dried aged. Yeah, the Kinder brand is good. Like I said, my two favorite were those Slap Your Mama and the Steak and Burger from Famous Dave's. But I haven't used seasonings in so long that I don't even know what the fuck I would do now. Mel Mac in the house. He said Meat Church is an awesome brand. It's based here in Texas. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, no, I've actually never heard of that one. Never heard of it. I guess I don't look up seasonings enough, though. To be fair. To be fair, I thought I missed a question. Maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong. Yeah. No, Colton, I don't. I already said that. I don't use any seasonings. No. No. No, 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 no. Mrs. Dash, garlic and herb. Yeah, some of the Mrs. Dash stuff is decent. Yeah, Krieg. I get MegaFit meals meats. They're already seasoned. Yeah, no, I even dude, even when I was cooking my own proteins, I didn't season them. I just used salt. And then occasionally um I would occasionally use like a flavor gang sauce, but like when I'm at work, I just eat the the salt on the meat. Um but his brain had the streaming loading sign. Yeah, dude, I don't I honestly generally prefer like eating my food cold too. Like I rarely microwave it. Um I got to pee real quick. Guys, ask more questions, please. Damn, none of you left? You guys are boring. Do you have nothing better to do? Oh, let's see. Yeah, dude, I pee fast as fuck, boy. Oh. Colton said, I just eat as soon as it's time. Cold, lukewarm, whatever. Yeah, I don't fucking care, dude. I actually like cold. I like cold meat and rice. Like, it tastes good. It tastes good. People are like, you eat rice cold? Like, you've never had fucking sushi? You weirdo. That's what sushi is fucking cold meat and rice. You weirdos. You don't microwave it? No. Stop it. I've actually done this test with a constant glucose monitor. Um, it was absolutely fucking wild. Um, so what I would do is constant glucose monitor. I would eat the meal cold, which was like let's call it chicken and rice. Okay, I tried it with all my meals. I would eat the meal cold and track the blood sugar, how high it spikes, how long it stays elevated, when it comes down, etc. And then the next day, I would heat the meal and see how it changes. Drastically fucking different. Drastically different with rice specifically. So when you heat the rice and change the resistance starch, um, it really makes a difference, guys, in how the blood sugar reacts. So eating it cold, it would come up, stabilize, and then come back down. When you eat it hot, literally spikes through the fucking roof and then comes back down pretty aggressively. So now I have an excuse to eat cold rice But before I just did it because it was convenient because I was always in a work truck. So all my meals were eaten on the road. Um, but the the change in the blood sugar versus eating cold rice versus reheated rice, incredibly different, like drastically different. So then I tried it with cream of rice, and the change was zero, literally zero. Um, my thought process is, and the cream of rice that I used was like a flavored cream of rice from Pride Foods. Um, so I think they actually like dehydrate and cook the rice. So the rice is already cooked and it's kind of preserved. So that's kind of my thinking. And then there's the resistant starch doesn't really change. So cream of rice didn't change at all, whether eating it cold or reheated or eating it freshly cooked, right? And potatoes had a very minimal change versus eating them cold versus reheating them. But the rice, dramatically different, dramatically different. So it's kind of cool. It's kind of cool. Scotty Mize in the house. What up? What up? What up? Crunchy. I will get back to that question. Because I wanted to see what Colton said about the rice. I eat 4, 5, 6 meals cold. Meals 4, 5, and 6. I wonder if that's why I've never had issues with blood glucose. It's dude, it's wildly a wildly different change. I think postprandial, like 90 minutes postprandial, I think the blood sugar was spiking to like 130, and then it would crash back down pretty aggressively, eating it hot or reheated. And then when I would eat it cold, it would come up to like 90 and just like sit there and then slowly come back down. Um, yeah, Scotty, I like that idea. Um, Scott says, I just heat up my chicken, add sauce, and then I leave the rice cold. Yeah, I think that's a great idea. Scott, I think I sent you those screenshots of my CGM where I showed you the difference between the cold rice and the reheated rice, and it was dramatic. It was dramatic. Yeah, that's wild. He said, "Crunchy." For some reason, my right shoulder. Jesus, crunchy. For some reason, my right shoulder likes to go into a shrug when I'm doing some exercise. I don't mean to laugh, Crunchy, but I just love you. I try my best to keep it down, but eventually it goes up. Is there an exercise I can do to keep my shoulder down? Yeah, wear shoulder pads, dude. What exercise are you talking about? Are you talking about like I don't know, like a side raise or maybe like a chest press, like it comes up? If that's happening, the weight's probably just too heavy, dude. The weight's probably too heavy. Like, because you're compensating to get that weight up. So you end up using your trap, you know? Boo, boo, boo. Yeah, Colton, I do think that's maybe part of the blood glucose, but you're also lean. You're young, you're healthy, you're handsome. So all those things help blood glucose as well. Just being honest. Um, Scotty said I do use the white rice flour. Yeah, for cream of rice. I wonder if that would be different than your experience with the flavored cream of rice. Yeah, I don't know, Scott. I think it depends on the process of how they prepare it, right? Like I don't think just grinding jasmine rice, I don't think that's an acceptable replacement for cream of rice. Um, because I think they actually grind it, cook it, dehydrate it. So I think they actually cook the rice. I don't know for sure. I don't know for sure, but I think that's actually how cream of rice is made. The white rice flour may be a process similar to the flavored cream of rice. I don't know for sure. But when guys are buying jasmine rice in a coffee grinder and trying to make their own cream of rice, I don't think that's the same. I really don't. I think you would have to like you would have to like cook it, dehydrate it, and then coffee grind it. I don't know for sure. That just sounds like a lot of work. But yeah, the white rice flour, a lot of guys use that. I don't think it's a bad idea. No one seems to have digestion issues with it. It's obviously way more cost effective. I'm just fucking lazy. I like my flavored cream of rice. Tastes great. Um, Saves me time, you know. But yeah, the white rice flour is a good alternative if you guys are trying to um, be more cost effective. Oh, you meant four of your five meals. Um, yeah, four or five out of your six meals daily. Oh, for sure, dude. Yeah. Yeah, get a CGM and play with it. And then like try reheating the meals. And again, this was most common with jasmine rice. Like the cream of rice and the potatoes, they didn't have such a change. So it depends what carb sources you're using. But yeah, dude, try it out, Colton. Get a CGM. Joseph Percher has a link. I can't remember the website. Raymond will post it in here. I think Raymond has used it, but they sell CGMs for pretty cheap. And then Joseph Percher has like a discount code, so you can support him. Yeah, Raymond will get it for you, Colton. And then let me know next week, and post your results on what you see between reheating and not. Melmac told Crunchy to switch hands from time to time. Uh, Side raise and triceps mostly. Yeah, you're going too heavy on those, my friend. You're probably going too heavy, in my opinion. Lighten that shit up, dude. Yeah, Raymond uses the white rice flour. Joseph said by novice, he asked a question earlier if I think like dumbbells or like free weights in general. He asked the question if I think those are important for novice lifters. I do. I do. Yeah, Joseph. I think, in my opinion, you should be incorporating some free weights. And if you haven't done them ever, you need to do so sparingly and be careful when you first introduce them. But man, I've seen people who solely rely on machines, and then you try to get them to do something simple like a dumbbell row, and they can't even fucking do it, dude. They can't even do it. So I think it's important to learn how your body moves in space, and being able to use free weights, and people will call stabilizer muscles and things like that. Yeah, I think there's some truth to that. I do think building a base is important, and fuck, even if that means squatting with a barbell, guys. And like I said, you don't have to train to squat 500. But man, if you've never squatted 225 pounds and you're a man over 150 pounds, you've never squatted 225. I don't know. I don't know. I got issues with that. I got issues with that. If you've never ever had 200 pounds on your back and squatted down and stood the fuck up with it, but you can leg press 7 plates, like I got issues with that. I really do. I really do. Um, and again, I have nothing against machines. I use them very frequently. But if you're a novice, which is what the question was, I do think there needs to be a base established. And maybe that only takes 6 months to a year, right? And you don't have to do like you don't have to make it as basic as like 531, um, which really isn't a fucking bad idea, if I'm being honest. If I'm being honest. Um, I think 531 was one of the greatest programs I ever did. Um, so that's something to consider, Joseph. Like learning the squat, bench, and deadlift. I mean, fuck, overhead press as well. Um, but yeah, I think everyone, should spend some time with some free weight for sure. Tim said, I hated cold food that should be hot. right till my first Tommy John prep. Now I eat most of my food cold. There's a misconception of how things should be prepared, right? That's like telling people how they should live their life. And it's not that you've hated cold food that should be hot. You're using the word should be hot just because that's what's normal to you. That doesn't mean it's the standard. There's nowhere in history that says rice needs to be hot when you eat it, or, eggs need to be hot when you eat them, or a sandwich needs to be cold when there's no standard for that. So stop it, Tim. Eat your cold rice and shut the fuck up, bro. I'm buying an industrial spice mill. Takes 10 seconds to grind 5. That is such a waste of time and money, Tim. Stop it. David said 465 was my heaviest squat. Yeah, back before I broke my vertebrae. Yeah, would love to get back to 315, he said. I think it's important to have a baseline strength. I do. And I broke the vertebrae doing 185 on a warm up. Yeah, I get it, dude. I get it. I mean, a lot of injuries happen outside the gym. Tim said a waste of money is little boxes or bags of core. Bro, I don't feel like I'm wasting money when I order my cream of rice. I don't feel like I'm wasting money at all. So you don't get to determine that for me. But I can tell you buying an industrial spice machine is fucking wild. Melmac says squats do. Tim, I'm going to kick your ass out of this fucking live stream right now. Melmac says squats do so much for stabilizing muscles as a beginner, adductors, hips, everything. The other thing is it just builds a ball sack. Respectfully, there's girls in here as well, but it builds fortitude, mental fortitude. It's hard to squat in the fucking hole with weight that's trying to kill you on your back. Then you have to stand up with it. That shit's hard. Doing a hard set of leg press, any fucking loser can do that. Any loser can do that. It's not fucking hard. It's like there's no risk in it. There's no risk. You just go until the weight falls back on the safety stops, and then you just crawl your fat ass out. Take a squat to fucking hell. And that feeling of, man, this thing's either gonna break my back or I'm gonna stand up with it. That's gonna build some mental fortitude. So that's why I think it's important for beginners to use some free weights and fucking pick a heavy weight off the floor, you lazy asses. Learn to deadlift. No, deadlifting is not great for building the back, but maybe just do something fucking hard for once, you know, and just learn and build that mental fortitude. And I'm not telling you to deadlift forever, but if you've never done a proper deadlift and you can't deadlift 315, you're a grown ass man. I don't know, man. I don't know. Don't know what to tell you. That's not good. That's not good. David said, "Yeah, the squat is the one major injury I've had in the gym. Everything else is all day something stupid. Yeah, for sure. I've been injured in the gym once. I separated my ribs deadlifting. Um, that was the one and only time I actually hurt myself in the gym. I pulled 675 for 6, and on the 5th rep, I felt it, and then I still did the 6th rep. But man, still to this day, every once in a while, I'll feel pain in that area, and this was 5 years ago. So I probably fucked something up for sure. Small says, I'm a reformed man. Brandon Curry's single leg hack squats are the truth, people. I'm in my wellness girl arc. Yeah, but I guarantee Brandon has squatted more than 315 in his life. And some of you don't even know how to do that math without a calculator. Squats is about survival, pretty much. I just saw some kid from Texas squat 850 at the state competition, 17-year-old. Yeah, I'm not amused by powerlifting anymore, but that is crazy. That is crazy for sure. 17. Yeah, and don't get me wrong, like I don't think like I said, I don't think the deadlift is like incredibly effective for building the back, but it is effective at like teaching you to train with some intensity and I don't know, pick up something fucking heavy for once in your life. Not all this robot shit that the world's trying to do, like fucking squeeze and everything, like really slow and stupid. Like we still have to lift weights. Yeah, there's a time to be um more towards the side of isolation and prettier looking stuff. But if all your training is like that, you suck. You suck. Do something hard. Fuck. And stop running from pain too. Man, I so you guys are gonna try to figure out who this is when I say it. But I had a client send me a training video and they stopped as soon as it got uncomfortable. Like I could tell, like it started to hurt a little. So they racked it. I'm like, what the fuck? You know? Stop running from pain. Run into that shit. Run into that. Dive into that shit. 17-year-old in Texas, 850 squat. Yeah, that's pretty wild. That's pretty wild for sure. But some people are just born to be strong as fuck. Like, look at Chad Nichols' kid. That kid's crazy. That kid's absolutely nutty. Like, I don't know if you guys have ever seen Chad Nichols' son. And his daughter, I think, is crazy strong too, to be honest. Trying to see if I had more questions come through. Let me know what questions you guys have. Someone asked me one the other day. I'm trying to find it. We'll see. I'll see if I can find it. Shred Quest in the house. What up, Doe? What up, dude? I'm just talking shit. Um, saying how people need novice lifters should use some basic movements and learn some proper barbell squatting and some proper deadlifting and bench pressing even. And I'm not saying that people should stay on those things forever. Um, but I think a good year of building a base for a novice is really important. I guarantee you agree with that. Um, I guarantee you agree with that. Um, Raymond says, "What do you think separates an advanced lifter from an intermediate time?" That's it. Time, 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 time. That's it. That's it. And if you have to ask yourself if you're advanced, then you're not. That when I say you, I don't mean you. I just mean in general. But yeah, I would say the number one thing with that, Ray, is just time. Just time under the barbell. Just time, just learning how to auto regulate. So let me answer the question differently. What do you think separates an advanced lifter from an intermediate? Learning how to listen to their body. Advanced lifters know when to push and they know when to pull back. An intermediate doesn't. Generally, an intermediate just pushes. At least the ones I train with, or the ones I trust. But generally, an intermediate lifter does not know how to pull back. They will just push, 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 push. Advanced lifters know there comes a time to pull back and listen to your body. Know when to pivot, know what to pivot to, um, and just properly playing the game for longevity. Longevity is such a big component in the advanced lifter's mind. Intermediate, not as much. Intermediate is, I want to get big now. The advanced lifter is more refined. Um, they're more professional. That's all it is. To go from intermediate to advanced is, just becoming a master at the craft, and just learning all the angles. But just because you're an advanced lifter does not mean you're not still learning. There's so much to learn, always, 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 always. So the definition, advanced versus intermediate, I think advanced is just the amount of time that you've been um, learning under the bar, in the gym, things like that. Amy said, F my life. Legs are dead. I love and hate my leg day so much. Yep. That's how legs go. That's how legs go for sure. Fast Eddie says, besides John Meadows programs, which you all know I'm fond of, what other programs would you suggest? Um, it depends on your goals. Um, it depends on your main focus at the time. So let me know. Give me a scenario. Give me a scenario, Fast Eddie. J Money, how do you go about fixing someone's ankle mobility on leg press? Would you switch to single leg? Oh. um, well, there's a couple different things with this. Some people are just trying to keep their feet too low because someone told them, like, if you're not burying your feet at the bottom of the platform and crazy fucking Tom Platz knee flexion, then you're not training quads. Now everyone's afraid to put their feet up high and wide a little bit because they're like, oh, that only trains glutes. The fuck it does, dude. The fuck it does. Um, I think people are afraid to change, their stance a little bit. Like, I'm a guy on a hack squat. I cannot keep my feet low on the platform. And is it because of my ankle mobility? No, not necessarily. Part of it is just the length of my femurs and things like that. Um, so but to fix ankle mobility, there's so much shit online, dude, on YouTube. Um, like Kelly Starrett has a ton of stuff on ankle mobility. But yeah, single leg shit is great, dude, for legs. Like today, Raymond and I did mostly single leg stuff. We started with leg curls, which were, um, bilateral. We did both at the same time. Then we did leg extensions, which were bilateral as well. And then we moved to like a pendulum reverse lunge on the Rogers. I think it's a Rogers pendulum squat. We did reverse lunges in there, so those obviously all single leg. Then we did B stance leg press, which is single leg, and then we did lunges, walking lunges. So yeah, most of our day today was all single leg stuff, which I think is great. I think it's great. Fast Eddie, looking to build up my chest and back and looking at switching up my normal push pull legs routine. Man, I would still say Meadow stuff. I would still say any of John's stuff or Chris Edmonds. Um, and there's a comparison chart on his website, where you can pick like traditional bodybuilding splits. Some of his programs are push pull legs. Some of them are more traditional bodybuilding splits. But yeah, I mean, I think Gamma Bomb would be a good one for you. That one's great for chest and back. I think Gauntlet. I don't know which ones you've done. I don't know if you've even done any. Um, but I think the Gauntlet is a good one. Let's see. Let me see here. Let me see. Okay. Okay. I sent John this email in September 16th, 2020. I said, this is exactly what you're asking me right now, Fast Eddie. I said, "Hey John, I was wondering which of your programs you would rank top 3 for adding upper body mass. My upper body significantly lacks behind my lower. I'd say specifically I could use more width in my back. I was a powerlifter for 10 plus years, so I have okay thickness, but I have minimal width. Hey now. Also, a side effect of powerlifting, I have a lagging chest and subpar arms. Fast Eddie, sound like you, bro? I haven't seen you, so that's not a slight at you. That's not a shot. But this is, why I'm reading this. Basically, my goal is to try to do a bodybuilding show next year, and I need to transform my powerlifting body into a bodybuilding body. Also, any other weaknesses you see when people are switching from powerlifting to bodybuilding? Um, John said, hands down, Gauntlet would be the best program for upper body mass. So yeah, and then we went on back and forth about a few things, but yeah, so the Gauntlet would be the one to look to, Fast Eddie. Joseph, how do you feel about the Bulgarian split squat? Those killed me this week. First time doing a drop set with that movement after my. Oh yeah, dude. I love the Bulgarian split squat. It's absolutely brutal. Yeah, I think it's a great movement. I think it's a great movement. I think it's okay to hold on to something while you're doing it too. Whether that's like um, this the one of the legs of a squat rack or whatever. Um, I think that's okay because some people just don't have the balance to do Bulgarian split squat. Um, Even like having a broomstick um, to support yourself, because like I don't think you should be doing a Bulgarian split squat to learn balance. So like if you're really trying to get after it, I would anchor myself to something, just hold something to help balance. But if your balance is fine, then let her rip. Um, David said, "I love the Bulgarian split squat drop set of death." Yeah, that's one of the only things I've ever done that. I mean, there's a few things, but that was one of them that literally almost brought me to tears, if not did bring me to tears, was when I would do those. Fast Eddie says, I was also a powerlifter for 10 years. Yeah, I could tell. When people say their back and chest and arms are lagging, they were generally a powerlifter. I'm sure you have thick traps and big legs though. So yeah, he said Gauntlet it is. Yeah, check out the Gauntlet, dude. That one's a good one. Scott says rack supported contralateral split squat. You can elevate the front foot, rear foot on the floor. Focus on ball of the foot pressure. Yeah, on the front foot. Yeah. Yeah, those are fine too. Any sort of squat or a lunge is going to be good. But yeah, it's important where you put the focus on as far as pressure on the foot. Raymond said Bulgarian split squats go from not so bad to glass shards in your quads after 2 to 3 reps. Yeah. Yeah, they're hard for sure. Any type of lunge or single leg shit is just really fucking hard. Just really hard. Yeah, Fast Eddie, let me know if you end up going with Gauntlet and let me know how you like it. Because I always really liked that program. That was a fun one. J Money asks, any tips for keeping RDLs in the hams and glutes or any hinge base execution tips? Um, yeah, there's a few things. One is people are just bending over instead of actually pushing their hips back. Um, so a lot of people are literally just bending over with weight instead of like actively driving their hips back. Um, One way to think about it is you're thinking about like your ass literally opening up when you sit back. I know that's awful to say, but um, it's a real thing. And the other thing is the how you're applying pressure to the floor with your feet. So I think about keeping my feet really, really heavy on the floor. I also think about like the inside of my foot and the entire foot pressure. And then I'll also curl my toes a little bit into the floor. And even if you're sitting there right now and you curl your toes into the floor, you'll feel your hamstrings turn on right away. And then the other thing I think about, I normally only pick one or two things, but the other things just kind of happen naturally. Because you don't want to think about like 9,000 fucking things when you're trying to execute a lift. Um, but I actively think about trying to pull my heels back behind me. So heavy feet into the floor, and then think about dragging your feet behind you. Obviously, they're not going to move, um, but heavy feet, and then drag your feet backwards. And what I mean by that is like if you were wearing a pair of flip flops, that motion of pulling your foot out of the flip flop, you want to apply that pressure to the floor and then drag backwards actively the entire time. If you're sitting down right now, drive your feet into the floor, curl your toes, and then pull your heels towards your butt without your feet actually sliding. You'll feel your hamstrings and glutes come on right away. But yeah, actively pushing your ass back instead of just bending over will be a huge game changer. One thing you can do if you train with like a training partner, you can put like a light band around your hips, and then they can be behind you. And as you're sitting back, they can kind of tug on the band to cue your hips back. Um, yeah, so that one helps. Or you can always just put a band, or you can always put a band around like a rack, and then put the band around your hips, and then maybe do RDLs with like dumbbells, so you can stand in front of a power rack. Um, and that will cue your hips back. And the band doesn't have to be like heavy tension. I'd prefer it wasn't. But yeah, the heavy feet, curling the toes, dragging the feet behind you, and then really just pushing your ass back is you're gonna feel your fucking your hams and glutes, I promise. Colton says the first time I did a Bulgarian split squat drop set of death, my training partner asked me if I was okay before I could even answer. I threw up everywhere. Yeah, for sure. For sure. Melmac, what do you do if you go to the gym, dialed in, have your program ready, and most of the machines, racks, weights for your program are taken up? I mean, I train at fucking 6 in the morning, so that doesn't happen. Um, but like, there's really never an alternative. There's never not an alternative for whatever your program says. you know. And if you're going to the gym and you literally can't do anything else, I would not be spending money on that fucking gym membership. If you literally go there and you can't use anything, that's no longer an effective gym. Um, but yeah, I mean, if you go there and your program says prime incline machine, but it's taken, but the Smith machine is open, go do incline barbell press. It's the same fucking thing. It's not the same thing. Don't be dumb, but you know what I mean? It's still an incline press, right? Um, if it says cable fly and you have to use a pec deck, go do a fucking pec deck. You know, it's the same shit. Or the cable fly's taken, the pec deck's taken. Oh, but there's dumbbells that I can use to do a fly, guys. Just pivot, pivot. Programs are not written in stone; they're written on paper. They're written on paper, and you can pivot. You can pivot all the fucking time. Joshua Davis, I love a reverse lunge with the dumbbells. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I hate how they feel on my knees. Okay. Do you have any suggestion for helping with knee pain? My pain is way worse than it used to be prior to my show last year. Yeah, I think the shin angle matters. Um, I think like getting your knee over your toe is okay, but it's not okay for everyone. It's not okay all the time. Um, so I think the angle of the shin really does matter. And I think the pressure of the front foot really matters. Um, so if you're really, you know, front foot dominant and your knee is way over your fucking toes and you're really just cranking on that knee, you're better off kind of letting the shin be perpendicular to the floor and getting a little more glute involved and keeping that knee behind the toes, really trying to keep it in the center of the foot the whole time, and then the pressure of the foot should be the entire whole foot, um, and really just grab the ground and root yourself to the ground. Um, so that's something to keep in mind. Do you have any suggestions for? Yeah, so I would try that, and maybe you don't need dumbbells. Maybe you should load it a different way. Um, it depends. It really depends, but I would start there. I would start there and just try changing the shin angle a little bit and see how that feels. Colton says it helps me to think about sitting in a chair while bending over to touch my toes with a neutral or close to neutral. Yeah, yeah, that makes sense. Amy said my favorite RDL cueing came from Todd Lee. I'm the girl, now I'm the guy. I'm the girl, now I'm the guy. Yeah, that works too. That works too. J Money said pretty much the same thing. Austin told me, yep, makes sense. Butt back, thrust up. Butt back, thrust up. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Blaze says banded pit shark. Yeah, that's a great one. Mel says Chris Edmonds programs have a lot of supersets with machines, and I've come across shuffling movements sometimes, but yeah, I mean, if you're waiting, that's not a superset anymore. I question my gym membership in those times, or is it not the right program for you? I mean, I love Chris, but if the program's not working for what you have available to you, then you might need to either pivot programs or find a new gym. Blaze, how much caffeine do you drink? I rarely go over 300 milligrams a day. Um, normally like it's normally around 200, but I use nicotine though, so I'm a cheater. Let's see. Do 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 do. Yeah. Yeah, for caffeine, sometimes I'll drink sometimes some of my pre-workouts have, like, 50 milligrams of caffeine in them, but they're mostly, like, pump-based pre-workouts, and then I always have, um, like, a Ghost or a Monster with meal 3 of the day, and then I don't have much caffeine after that. Is vape maxing good for bodybuilding? I don't know that there's, like, enough science behind or enough, like, long-term research behind vaping. Um, I mean, I wanna say that it might be bad for the lungs, but, like, I don't know how to prove that, because it's not smoke. Like, I've never vaped personally besides, like, a weed pen, and, I'm not a regular cannabis user, but I've used a weed pen a few times, and, like, I don't think it affect my, like, breathing as much as, like, smoking a joint would or, like, ripping a fucking bong, like, I don't think that vaping is doing the same damage, but I just don't know. I just don't know for sure. Um, but there's not a lot of negatives to a point for caffeine or for nicotine. Um, besides, it can be, well, it will be vasoconstrictive, but it's while you're using it. It's not like you fucking use you hit your vape and it's not like you're vasoconstricted for the rest of the day, you know? So I mean, vape maxing means that you're probably using a lot of it. So I'd probably fucking chill if you can. All right, bring more questions. I gotta pee real quick. Wow, you're all still here. Oh, let's see. Blaze said I just found that caffeine 8 hours before bed is my limit. If I drink it past that, yeah, dude, yeah, fuck yeah. The half life of caffeine is a lot longer than people think. Um, I don't drink any caffeine past like my cutoff is like 11:30 a.m. and I go to bed around 9:30. So, yeah, I'm about that. That same time frame as you. David said I can drink a monster and then go to sleep. I probably could too. Um, I just don't think the sleep is as quality. It's kind of like weed. Like you can, smoke a joint and fall asleep, but I don't think the sleep is like good sleep, good quality REM deep sleep. J Money says trend doesn't touch my sleep. Caffeine absolutely wrecks my sleep. You just haven't run enough trend, dude. That shit will fuck your sleep up, I promise. You just haven't run enough. David says, "What type of TJ merch does everyone want?" J Money said flannels. Yeah, flannels would be cool. Hoodies and beanies. Yeah, yeah. Flannels are tricky. Um, yeah, flannels are definitely tricky with finding a good quality one that's not going to shrink or like fit weird. Um, Dylan said some sort of oversized jacket or shirt, like a gas style. Yeah, that's cool too. That's a good idea. Dylan said, I feel as long as I get my sleep time to like 7.5 hours plus, I feel so good no matter what the night before was. Yeah, I wish I wish I could get that much sleep, dude. I just don't have the time to do it, literally. But yeah, 7.5 hours sounds great. The quality of the one you got me, David, is good. That one is good. Keith in the house. I love the shirt I ordered. Yeah, that quality wasn't bad either, Keith. Do, 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 do. Yeah, David, I think that's a good one for sure. I think we can roll with that one. Do, 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 do. I think I got all the questions. What else you guys got? We talked about Meadows programs, caffeine, tren, mitochondria. Do 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 do. Dylan said, I was a whopping 2:38 this morning after going ham on some Mexican food. Damn, dude, that's really good. That's really good. That means you needed it. Mexican food is always one of my go-to free meals if I get one. That's always a good choice, Mexican food. As long as you try to avoid dairy a little bit. But because sometimes Mexican food can be heavy in dairy, but not always. Not always. Are artificial sweeteners bad for gut health? They can be. They can be, but not always. Um, it depends, one, how sensitive you are, and two, if you have any underlying like overgrowth. Um, because I must say dairy was not avoided. There's some artificial sweeteners that will feed bad bacteria. So if you already have like an underlying, let's say, bacterial overgrowth, certain artificial sweeteners can actually feed that overgrowth and make it worse. But just like artificial sweeteners, like as they stand alone, um, not really, not really, unless you're abusing them. But I mean, shit starts tasting gross. Like if you're just using too many artificial sweeteners, anyways. Um, but yeah, I'm not. If you don't get like any gas or like you know any type of symptoms from them, yeah, I wouldn't necessarily avoid them. The last like 2-3 weeks of prep, sometimes I'll pull them only for some people, but like I said, it's always context dependent. Melmac asks, which physique do you like more, Summerfield or Mike Summerfeld or Wesley Vissers? Which physique? I like Mike's more, but I think Wesley's great. Now, which personality? I think that's pretty easy. I think that's pretty easy. Wesley is obviously superior. Yeah, David says Summerfeld is a cheater. I don't care how good his physique is. Yeah, I agree. I agree, and he's just weird. He's just weird. Um, but yeah, he's fucking undeniably awesome. Like his physique is so good. Besides his back double, I think is stupid. Jay just said that. Jay said, "I hate the way he poses his glutes in the back." Yeah, I agree. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, and like it would look so much better if he. It's called putting your dick in the curtain. But if he squeezed his ass in, his back double would look better. So I hate that he leaves his hips back. Because his glutes are like dug the fuck out, peeled, shredded, granite hard. So why wouldn't you want to show those off? There's plenty of width. Some guys will leave the hips back because when they tuck their hips in, it makes their back look worse. But his lats are already really good. Jay said it's like he's trying to make his lats look even lower. I don't know what it is, but it doesn't. It would be better if he just tucked his ass in because yeah, it looks very strange. The question was whose physique is better, Wesley or Mike's? And Dylan says Ronnie. Always, Ronnie is always the best, no matter what. No ifs, ands, or buts. Ronnie is the best. I don't care. There's no debating that. I think Phil was really good too. I just don't like him. I think Phil was good too. I think he's better now as a person, but like he was a piece of shit at one point. But I'm pretty sure he's like finally like grown up a bit, maybe. Um, and it seems like he's a bit better now. But who knows? Who knows? You never know how he really is behind closed doors. Yup. Let's see. I want to make sure that I got all these. What other questions do you guys have? Dylan said I have some Bola Gains on the way. Needed the restock. I like Bowl of Gains, but I can't eat them every day. I prefer the Pride Nutrition. Um, favorite J Money asks my favorite flavored core or flavors lately. I like the Pride Nutrition or Pride Foods, whatever they go by. I like the apple pie, the brown sugar cinnamon, and the coconut one's pretty good too. Um, and then for Bowl of Gains, I like the Samoa one, the Girl Scout cookie flavor. I think it's just called Soma. And then brownie batter and peanut butter cookie for the Bowl of Gains. Um, Elevate, I haven't had it in a while, so I don't remember which one I liked. I think the chocolate cake was fine. I haven't had it in a while, probably over a year or two, year and a half, something like that. Um, those are my main ones, though. I either do Pride Foods, Pride Nutrition, whatever it is, and then um, Bowl of Gains. And I prefer the Pride Foods over the Bowl of Gains, just because the Bowl of Gains is really sweet, like very, very sweet. Um, So sometimes it's a bit too much for me. J Money said, just got the cinnamon roll elevate to try. Yeah, that one sounds good. Brownie batter bowl of gains too. Yeah, the brownie batter's good. Raymond said elevate chocolate cake is good. Yeah, I like that one for sure. Dylan said, whatever you do, don't get trained by JP Core. Yeah, I wouldn't. I think, does he have a US store now? I can't remember. Like sometimes he does, sometimes he doesn't. Um, but yeah, I stick to the people that specialize in cream of rice. I would never get it from like a supplement company or anything. I'd rather just get it from people who like that's what they do. So either Pride, Bowl of Gains, or Elevate. I would be open to trying again. Shredquest said, "Why no dairy?" It's more just a personal thing, but I think dairy can really slow down digestion in a lot of people. Um, so when people are in prep and they're doing a refeed, I like them to try to avoid dairy and even gluten to a point, just so there's no inflammation or unwanted um, slowing of the gastric system. But um, yeah, I mean, I'll have some dairy in free meals. I just think if it's heavy in dairy, I don't think that's a good call. I think it slows everything down way too much, way too much. Joseph said, I'd like for a company to come out with a core product, sweetened with just stevia or monk. Yeah, Pride, dude. Pride is very minimal um, as far as artificial sweeteners. Pride is way cleaner than Bowl of Gains. I don't know that it's completely artificial free. Let me check. Let me check. But it's definitely cleaner than Bowl of Gains. Cleaner, like it's a weird word, but whatever. You guys know what I mean. Yeah, dude. It's granulated white rice, cane sugar, natural flavor, which is like the only semi whatever thing, cinnamon, and pink salt and stevia. Bro, they already have that. And Pride also uses organic rice, which doesn't necessarily matter, but it's a nice touch. Yeah, even their apple pie flavored one, granulated white rice, organic cane sugar, natural flavor. Yeah, same shit. Let's see this one. Yeah, dude. Yeah, none of them have that fucking. Um, none of them have, from what I can see right here, none of them have any artificial shit or sucrose. So I would do Pride. Um, Dylan said they don't have the flavors good over the pond. Yeah, Blaze. Yeah, Blaze said stevia and monk fruit for Pride. Yep. Dylan said, "Got to dip and go walk the shop dogs." See you, dude. Thanks for joining. What the hell is that, Jay? I Idili Rava? What the fuck is that? Is that an ingredient? What is that? Yeah, David. Yeah, I don't think they have any artificial sweeteners in there. It tastes completely different than than Bowl of Gains. Oh, you're talking about the Indian brand cream of rice. Yeah, for sure. My buddy uses that. Yeah. Yeah, my buddy uses that. Just said, dude, that's awesome. Yeah, I would do the Pride. Um, the They have like a churro flavor one that's new. That one's pretty good. Let's see. Yeah, that one's good. Churro flavor. That one specifically does say artificial flavors on the churro one. But you don't need churro. I'm just being a fat ass. Um, but all the other ones are all naturally sweetened. Let's see. I like the apple pie. The blueberry muffin's okay. Sometimes to me it tastes like a cleaning product, so I don't eat it all the time. Brown sugar cinnamon's great. Chocolate brownie's fine. Coconut cream pie is good. Maple waffle is good. I have never tried the taco flavor, and then they obviously just have unflavored too. To me, I would not spend the money on the unflavored. Um, that one I wouldn't. I have, just because during prep I was doing half unflavored, half flavored, um, just to um, just to be difficult, I guess. Blaze said, "Do you watch Invincible?" No, I don't watch anything, dude. I literally don't watch anything. Yeah, I'm lame like that. I watch like Miss Rachel and Bluey, and I don't even watch them. They're just on in the background sometimes. Boo, do, 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 do. All right, what else do you guys got? I know sometimes Chase goes live at 12, so that's probably when I'm going to cut this one off. That's probably when. Do, 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 do. Oh, yeah, dude, for sure. Shredquest said I have to cut the bowl of gains with regular core. Yeah, I do the same thing. I do the same thing. Blaze says Tommy Jr. needs to watch Ronnie Coleman, not Bluey. Come on, bro. Uh Landon's funny, dude. Like he will like if I'm wearing like a Sean Clarita shirt or like any like Nick Walker's on some of my Omega Amino shirts, like he'll point at him and he'll start flexing. It's pretty funny. So he knows, dude. He knows what's up. I've showed him videos of Ronnie, and I'll show him like, if I'm watching like a show or a recap of a show, I'll show him the guys posing and stuff. And like, man, I really don't care if he ever likes bodybuilding or not. You know what I mean? I'd prefer he didn't, to be honest. But if he does, it's whatever. It's whatever. You know, whatever he wants to be, he's allowed to be. That's how it goes. How's Landon's bulk going? Is he still like an equipoise? He doesn't need any gear, bro. He's got that fucking man, that sweet natural DNA based gear. You guys all have that until you fuck yourselves up with the exogenous shit. We all had it at one point. That that natural gear. When your balls still work and everything like that. Your pituitary gland still works. Can't beat that gear. It's literally designed for your fucking DNA, you know? But yeah, he's got that. He's got that advantage going. Then once you fuck that up, you're just injecting someone will from some guy's basement and praying that it has the compound in there. Nowadays, sometimes it doesn't. Someone sent me their blood work the other day, and their test level was like 100. He's like, "Bro, what the fuck's wrong?" I'm like, "Your gear's bad, dude. Stop buying your gear from sketchy ass fucking people." Oops. That's how it goes sometimes. That's how it goes when you play the game. Yep. It's part of the risk. What questions you guys have? Otherwise, I'm gonna hop off here because I should probably eat and I got to do my taxes today and see how much I owe the government or how much they owe me, which is unlikely, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. But normally it's going to be me owing them money. Yeah, unfortunately, because they're greedy. These are greedy and they want all of our money. So that's probably going to be what happens. Is Sarostem a write off? I don't know. Could be for me. Can't tell you. Can't tell you. It's a secret. Sarostim and Increlex, yeah. They're both write-offs. Yes, yes, yes. All my supplements are. They're just office supplies. Lots and lots of office supplies. Okay, what else? Nothing? What's the next meal? Just fucking chicken and rice. Probably. Probably just chicken and rice. Chicken and rice on the menu for my next 4. Yeah. I got chicken and rice, and then I got shrimp and rice. And then I have bison and rice. And then I had potatoes and eggs for my last one. Potatoes, eggs, there's veggies, sauerkraut, there's other stuff in there. But yeah, mainly just fish and a rice cake. That sounds fucking gross, bro. I don't like I can do shrimp. I really don't like fish that much. I can do sushi, obviously. Um, but like just fish, like I don't know. I get tired of it really quick. Like cod is good for like a few weeks, and then I'm like, fuck this, dude. I regretted even buying this. Oh, yeah, fish is gross, he said. Um, unless you guys have any other questions, I'm gonna dip out of here. So thank you for being here. Appreciate all of you. TommyJohnCoaching.com, ChaseIronsForm.com, OmegaAmino.net, and code Tommy because we're running a March Madness sale right now. So take advantage of that, get some free shit, and save some money. Free shipping as well. Yeah, that's it. Love you guys. See you later. Bye.